My friends and fellow gamers, what was the most roller coaster day in your gaming career? The one with the most ups and downs. Perhaps you began on a low note, losing lots of games, but later on experienced tremendous joy and accomplishment. Or perhaps the opposite, beginning on a high note, but ending in calamitous loss. Speedrunners, as you can imagine, have had many such days, from the incredible heights of a remarkable world record, to having a hard-earned score near and dear to their heart taken from them by another gaming grinder, or even a new strategy being discovered in their game of choice, obsoleting their long-fought records. Perhaps the most roller coaster day of all time in speed gaming belongs to one gamer, Psychedelic Joey, and his quest to seize a world record in Diddy Kong Racing, long held by another legendary speedrunner. But what happened one fateful day when Joey finally closed in on the score, he and perhaps many others were certainly not expecting. This is the story of Diddy Kong Racing's Ancient Lake. But before we get to that story, today I'd like to give a warm welcome to a brand new sponsor of this channel, Fantom Wallet. Check out this signature feature of the Fantom Wallet right off the bat. This thumb lever that fans out your cards so you can easily see and access whichever card you need when going to pay. Fantom Wallets are very cool and stylish with dozens of customizable options. They come in 3 sizes depending on how many cards you usually carry. This one is a Fantom S, one of the more simple ones, in black with a gold money clip on the front, and there are so many colors and designs and finishes to choose from for the wallet and clip. This one's a little more complex, a Fantom R in bamboo with a black money clip and black silicone band on the back, perfect for placing a receipt or a ticket or something like that. But there are tons of other add-ons you can choose from, like a tracker so you can find your wallet's location easily, or a coin holder because I still love throwing down a toonie on the counter when I get my coffee. You can play around with all sorts of builds and options on their website, so check them out down the link below and use my coupon code STAYTRUE for 10% off. Thank you so much, and now on to the rest of the video. Diddy Kong Racing is a truly classic kart racing game for the Nintendo 64, and one with an illustrious speed gaming history at that. Unlike its contemporary Mario Kart 64, which only has 16 courses, Diddy Kong Racing is a much deeper game with an extensive story mode, more characters to race with, and perhaps its most defining characteristic, the ability to play courses with 3 unique vehicles: car, hovercraft, and airplane. Now, not every single course can play all 3 vehicles. For example, you obviously can't drive the car on Hot Top Volcano, but many courses do allow all 3 vehicles, and as such there are around 50 different stage and vehicle combinations on which one can play for records. Not only that, but there are of course 3-lap and fast-lap records, giving Diddy Kong Racing around 100 time trials records to pursue. Incredible depth and plenty of room for any gamer to improve their personal bests on their favorite track in the game. However, like most games, a few courses stick out as being host to incredible competition over the last several decades. And naturally, the first course is almost always one of these tracks. In Diddy Kong Racing's case, that course is Ancient Lake. And in order to truly understand what was at stake in this story, we must learn a little about the history of competition on Ancient Lake. So, the year is 2010. The 3-lap world record on Ancient Lake car is 42.48 seconds, held by a legendary Nintendo 64 gamer, Ilyaya, known then as Oxwas. But of course, this was not to last forever. His record was being hunted down by another legendary Swedish gamer, Kali W. We know how legendary of a gamer Kali is, a top-tier GoldenEye record setter today. He used to go toe-to-toe in Smash Bros. Matches against Armada, a legendary Smash Bros. Player and one of the 5 gods in his own right. And just for good measure, Kali would also push some Diddy Kong Racing records to levels beyond what others could grasp. So suffice to say, he was a productive young gamer. On September 9th, 2010, Cali took the Ancient Lake 3-lap car world record with a time of 42.41 seconds, a 0.07 second improvement over Ilyaya's record. Cali was pretty happy with this, but he knew lower was possible, and indeed it was. Over the next month or so, Cali would be busy playing Smash Bros, and Ilyaya took this opportunity to lower the record on Ancient Lake once more. But unfortunately, video of this event has been long lost. But it wouldn't really matter all that much, because on October 22nd, 2010, Cali fired up his Diddy Kong Racing cart once more and pumped out this 42.13, a time that would begin his unbroken reign as world record holder on Ancient Lake 3-lap car for nearly the next decade. In his description, Cali writes that 41 is definitely possible, and these comments from 10 years ago on the 4213 YouTube video are so great too. Cali, how much time a week do you spend on this? Don't get me wrong, it's just out of curiosity. I'm not implying you lose your life on this or anything. The last time I played was, except for the 56 minutes yesterday, September 9th. The second lap was so clean. If all of your laps had that tight of turns, you can easily go sub 42. Yes, if only. Indeed, in November, Cali would improve this record twice, to 41.95 and then to 41.82, where the record would remain for the following 2 years. But who would be the one to beat it? Indeed, it would be Cali W. Casually feeling like taking a break from his Smash Bros. Play in August 2012, he would go back to the Ancient Lake and crank out this 41.70. Another very solid improvement. We can see a comment from legendary Diddy Kong Racing speedrunner 2Fool on this video, calling Cali the Ancient Lake God, a name he was certainly living up to at this point, and would continue to live up to. Over the next few years, Cali would turn his attention to GoldenEye 007, where he'd become a legend in his own right as well. So you might think in this era, 2012 to 2016, it would be the perfect time for a young, indomitable gamer to come along and set a new Ancient Lake world record. And in fact, in May 2016, the Ancient Lake record would indeed be improved once again. But not by any new gamer. It was Cali back at it again with a 41.51. At this point, it was just getting ridiculous. Cali had set the last 5 improvements to Ancient Lake, dating back through November 2010, going on 5.5, nearly 6 years of unbroken world record hold. All the while, most other Diddy Kong Racing records were being improved and traded between many great players. One of those great players, Nordic Boa, would finally notch a world record on Ancient Lake 3-lap car by tying Cali's 41.51. This was amazing and huge news in the Diddy Kong Racing community, but still not quite enough to knock Cali off the pedestal where he had sat atop Ancient Lake, now going on to 8 years. What had been ridiculous was now becoming just completely preposterous. Over the course of the next year, many great players like Nordic Boa, Miss Gizamalook, and 2Fool were all attempting to beat Cali's 41.51, but they just couldn't quite nail the run. And all this while, Cali was racking up even more incredible records with the car vehicle on courses like Jungle Falls and Treasure Caves, which the top players also couldn't quite match, leading Cali to be given the nickname, the God of Car. Would Cali's reign atop Ancient Lake 3-lap car last forever? Well, not if one more Diddy Kong Racing gamer had something to say about it. Psychedelic Joey was a fairly new speed gamer on the Diddy Kong Racing scene, and had been, to this point, a level specialist, focusing mainly on one course, Snowball Valley. Through February, March, April 2019, Joey had lowered the Snowball Valley car 3-lap world record a number of times.
Oh, got it. I can go to bed now.
But after months of grinding the stage, Joey chose to laser in his focus elsewhere, in particular on Ancient Lake, knowing that this was the record to go for, and having experience with the car vehicle, Joey began his grind. The first video footage we have of Joey playing Ancient Lake is this fairly unremarkable 42.95 from April 6th, 2019, just days after he had set one of his Snowball Valley records. But come late May 2019, Joey would begin a quest like none other. Joey would grind Ancient Lake 3-lap car for 3 or 4 hours every day in an attempt to become the one to finally dethrone Cali W. And this is what took place.
That was easy.
Ooh, okay. Okay. If that last lap was good, that could be close to the world record. I think I can get the world record now. Nice. I tied Stacy then. Sweet. Okay. So I tied Stacy's 3-lap, just barely passed his 1-lap by frame. We take those. Nice. Oh, sweet. So I have the American record now. I have both American records on this track for car now. Ah, sweet. That means I am 0.09 of a second away from the world record. Oh, just barely. That's probably my best 3rd lap I've ever done. But PB by 1 frame. World record is 2 frames away. Oh, I got the world record. Oh, I finally did it. Oh, I finally got it. I tried so hard to get this. Oh, I finally did it. Sweet. I'm so happy.
Joey was so hyped, adrenaline coursing through his veins, that there was no way he was going to fall asleep, and no point really to get a wink or two of sleep in at this late hour. This particular session had taken place between 10 p.m. on May 31st and 6 a.m. on June 1st. And at that crepuscular hour, he ran all the way to his cross-country running team's usual practice in the early morning hour, excitedly telling his mates about the new world record he had just set, and they were very happy for him. You know, it can be kind of funny. Speed gamers might sometimes be uncertain as to how non-speed gamers view their pursuits, but generally, friends will be supportive of such a cool accomplishment, of course. And his running mates always found it funny how both IRL and in the video game world, Joey was in pursuit of going fast and setting records. And so after a 3-hour session of cross-country training that morning, Joey was still so amped up, he ran home, eagerly wanting to show his brother, who had been fast asleep the night before, that he had finally taken the world record on Ancient Lake 3-lap car, the record that the God Gamer Cali had held for nearly the past 10 years. Joey logged onto the computer in excitement, loaded up the Diddy Kong Racing leaderboards, and this is what he saw. Indeed, in the couple of hours that Joey had been away, Nordic Boa had come along and instantly bopped away Joey's beautiful world record by getting a 41.40 himself. Two things were going on here. For one, Nordic Boa had set a great time. He had been playing Ancient Lake a little bit, and when he woke up and saw Joey's record, he was inspired to play it himself, and he just crushed out this great time. Perhaps it was the mental barrier of Callie's time finally being broken, perhaps it was just a matter of luck or coincidence, but Nordic Boa nailed the run. And the second thing happening was that, well, Joey was kind of devastated, understandably. That was his world record, which he was so proud of having achieved, being the first person in nearly a decade to knock off Callie's stronghold of the Ancient Lake 3-lap car record. And it had been so quickly taken away from him. He barely had any time to bask in the glory of his amazing achievement. It's not like he was a sore loser or anything. This is speedrunning after all, and Nordic Boa was a great player, and they all get along just swimmingly. But I think anyone can feel for Joey, being so excited about having achieved an amazing time, only for it to be taken away so quickly. I mean, just imagine how you would feel if this were you, from the euphoric heights of breaking through an amazing speedrun world record, to the crushing lows of defeat, and feeling like someone else got the best of you. And that's why perhaps this date, June 1st, 2019, was the biggest roller coaster of speed gamer emotion in the history of speedrunning. Certainly in Diddy Kong Racing. But don't cry too much, because only about a month later, something would be discovered that would basically make all the hard-fought grinding, passion, resets, and world records over the previous years all basically obsolete. A trick was discovered where you could prevent the TT Ghost from entering the race with you, and hence with less data being processed by the game during your time trial attempts, of course the game runs a little less laggy. This had the effect of saving about 1/10 of a second for every 10 or so seconds of a course, which means that on Ancient Lake, a 40-second course, it saved about 0.4 seconds or so, and thus all the battling and eking out frames of improvement would only be good for footnotes in the history book of Diddy Kong Racing world records. Today the record stands at 40.53 by Kves, so almost a full second faster than the records during this story. Though Callie's 41.51, which he hasn't improved since it was the world record, remains good enough for 9th place, and Joey, with only a slight improvement in the time since, sits comfortably in 8th place on the stage. Joey has gone on to set over 30 records in Diddy Kong Racing in the time since, so this was but a formative experience in his young Diddy Kong Racing career, forging his efforts into a future great. Nordic Boa continues to set amazing world records on the regular in Diddy Kong Racing, and Callie W has become one of the greatest GoldenEye speedrunners in the modern era. So there's that for a happy ending, I suppose. All's well that ends well. So there, my friends, is the story of the battle for world records on Diddy Kong Racing's Ancient Lake 3-lap car, the amazing stronghold Callie held on the stage for nearly a decade, the incredible roller coaster day of Joey, and a little bit on how things have shaken out since. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a hearty like, and make sure to subscribe with notifications on for more speedrunning content and stories about the journeys and quests of gamers around the world, because there's a lot more where that came from. And I've heard a couple of reports of people saying that they haven't seen my videos popping up on their feed, so ding that notification bell. It really helps out. You'll almost always be notified when there's a new video, and I don't upload nonsense, so you won't get trolled by notification fatigue. If you'd like to see more Diddy Kong Racing stories, leave a comment, because there's definitely many good tales to be told from this game, and we've only just scratched the surface. So thanks for watching, stay true, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.